Welcome back to another edition of In My Humble Opinion. I'm your boy Will, Daff, Mondo.
Shaking my money maker Mondo.
Man, he's made $4 this far. You too can have a Mondo. So today we want to talk about role models, right?
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof. Everybody talk about role model. But when you look and they say he's not a good role model, the word role model itself has nothing to do with good or bad. It's just somebody who influences you to be like them.
You're just looking up terms.
Mondo's going to look up the term of role model. He's a Google genius. But we always look at role models as only being positive. There are some negative role models, you know? And sometimes we may deem a person being a negative role model, but they may be modeling some characteristics that if they weren't doing them in a bad way would be deemed as a good role model. It's just that the environment in which that they're role modeling. Not like Charles Barkley, I'm not a role model.
A person looked to by others as an example to be, what's the word? Because I can't.
We can't see it.
We don't know what the word says. What does the word say?
So, Daff, can you read it,
No, I
please?
can't.
There you go.
I went to Kalamazoo Public High School.
They closed that down, brother. Everybody else go to Battle Creek.
I was struggling.
Say it again.
I was struggling.
Say it again.
A person looked to by others as an example to be imitated.
So you're right. That could be good, bad, right, or
Yeah.
wrong.
So it
Yeah,
doesn't.
but then who deems this person as
A role model?
Role model.
The person who's following them.
I guess because you looked up to by
Yeah,
others.
by others. You
So-
can't deem yourself. Some people want to deem themselves as a role model. I'm a role model. Well, who's following you? Right?
But then how do we deem people role models? You know what I'm saying? We can't just give them the accolades of being like, oh, you're a role model.
no, it's part.
Like
it's
how
part.
how we throw it on, like you said, an
Athletes,
or
right?
a
Yeah.
celebrity.
Yeah, you just put it on them and make them a role model. It's not that they necessarily.
Well, I don't think that you get to choose to be a role model. I think the people who are following you choose you as a role model, right?
Yeah.
So you say like Kevin Durant, right? Which is the best basketball player in the world.
Huh?
Right now, yeah.
Huh?
If you look at, he's hurt, but if you look at Kevin Durant, right?
Interesting. Yep.
With him being a celebrity, an athlete, right?
Okay.
There's kids who look up to him, right? And because they look up to him, that makes him a role model.
Are these pothead kids?
What?
I'm asking, are they pothead kids?
I don't hang out with them. I don't know.
Because he's a pothead.
That doesn't mean that they follow him because he's a pothead.
Maybe. If I a pothead and I want to know where the good pot is at, who else to look at for it than KD?
So hold on. So if a crackhead can do math good, and
Hey.
you look at him as a good math teacher,
Hey.
do you also now have to smoke crack because he smoked crack, or do you get to pick
Hey.
which part of him you want to model yourself after?
I mean, if you're a follower, you might just go ahead and follow into the crack mentality. But if you can think for yourself, you probably won't because you learn from that lesson.
But do you guys, okay, so let me ask you this. Do you deem yourself, or have you been called, a role model?
Yes. In different avenues in my life, I was a role model. I worked at an elementary school before.
With children?
Yeah, with
Like
children.
small kids?
That's why I stopped smoking cigarettes. I was just telling somebody this story the other day. They asked me if I smoked. I said, yeah, I stopped smoking cigarettes in 2009. Granted, I've puffed a cigarette, you know, it's been...
I just saw you last week
Yeah,
puff a
you
cigarette.
see. Right, but like, you know, as far as like being a smoker buying
Right.
packs and stuff like that. So within the 11 years, I probably had a total of 3 cigarettes in 11 years to back in the day when I would probably be smoking close to a pack a day, right? The reason why I stopped smoking is because now my kids knew I smoked, but I never smoked around my kids. But working with other people's kids, I don't know, home life was like. Some kids looked up to me, so I didn't want them to see me.
Your negative and bad behavior.
You know, and did I enjoy cigarettes, right? But I quit because I didn't want to be that negative
Influence.
role model to be like, because I don't think smoking is good, right? But I knew growing up, my mom smoked, grandparents smoked, and the thing was, me and my cousins, we was little with our grandmother. We used to be like, "Ooh, grandma, let me go light your cigarette." Like that
Everybody,
was the thing,
that
right?
was the thing, and you puff it way
You
on
know?
the stove.
You know,
I
your
didn't do that.
grandparents, you know, this back in the 80s or whatever. So no
I don't
harm,
know.
no.
My grandparents didn't smoke.
Okay, okay.
I bet they didn't. They probably were.
It's Queen Daphne,
Man,
everybody.
right.
So it was a different time. Would I do that with my kids? No. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that was one of the things that got me to end up becoming a smoker or not. But then your family, your older people in your life is
They
your role
influence you,
models, right?
right.
Influence role models. So I don't know. Like I was always around cigarette smoke.
What you think, Dad? Have
About
you been called a role model or been deemed a role model
not
like a
a
little role
a
model.
role
You look
model.
like one.
or a queen,
More
You look like a queen.
as Mondo says?
You look like
No.
royalty.
Okay, I'll take that. But more less, I've been more of a lot of people call me a motivator to people.
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't think I'm necessarily, I personally don't deem myself as a role model, but I do take into consideration the motivator part because I do always want the best for people, even though I don't like some people. But I do always try to, make sure I encourage people because you just never know what people are going through, and so you always try to make sure that you motivate people and push people forward because you just never know what, they have going on.
But that what her post. Remember when I was first showing you her post? It was motivation. She was sitting there like bedside and be like, and if you dream it, you can do it, and you believe it. and
Don't you believe what
in yourself,
anybody
and
say
can do
about you?
anything.
Daphne believes in you.
I believe
Because
in
you
you.
can, and
Yeah, and I
people
was like,
don't.
"Aw."
People don't always have that mentality. Even if they have that mentality, it's still okay to make sure you support people because, you just never know when they're lacking the support or don't have the support or just, sometimes people just need stuff.
I think for me, I never deemed myself a role model. I think because I've always been searching for a role model. Like I know what it's like not to have, and I know what it's like to struggle. So I was always looking for someone who knew what it was like not to have, who knew what it was like to struggle, and try to connect with them. So I was busy trying to find a role model. And on my journey of finding a role model, some people have deemed me as being a role model. And so it wasn't until somebody was like, "No, people look up to you for boom, boom, these reasons."
Yeah,
And for me,
you'll be surprised.
yeah, and for me, I'm like, no, that's just me on my journey to be a better person.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that on my journey to be a better person, as I became better, people saw that and they believe that they too can be better or that they can be attached to something that's greater than what they are, and not myself, but just the things that I've been involved with. I think that it was an eye opener because I think that's the best type of role model. The best type of role model is somebody who's just doing what they're doing and not looking to be a role model.
Yep. You just living life.
You just living life.
People
It's living
always
life.
watching.
And it just seems like those are the type of people you'd be like, man, you do it. And they'd be like, what? Who
Yeah.
look up to me?
Right. You'd be surprised. Well, I want to ask a question. Kind of know Daphne's answer. I ask you a personal question. I want to ask you for real. So, was your father heavily involved in your life?
Yes, it was crazy because he was present but not always available.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So for me, if you're talking about father role models,
Yep. And that's where I was going.
yeah,
Yep.
father role models. A lot of things with my dad I didn't appreciate until now, right? Because of the way his parenting style was. I seeked other role models who I think catered more to my artistic side and more to my outward thinking side. And my dad was like black and white, like this is boom, boom,
No
boom.
gray area.
Yeah, and there was no gray area. So I don't think that I looked at him as a role model. I looked at him just as like
Dad.
my dad, like somebody who's gonna put his foot in my butt, So, what about you?
Me, kind of the opposite. You know what I mean? So once I got older, probably like when I started going to church as an adult, then the men role models.
Right.
I looked up to them, and then some of them like they really not that much older than me, but you still looked up. So I think it helped me grow as a person, right? So I don't know how to put it, but I think inside, like, I love my dad, we good or whatever like that. but I think it was always something missing.
Shout out to Mondo's dad. He's
And then
wonderful.
not knowing it until I got around guys that would, but they were pouring into me.
Right. You're right.
And I think
right.
that was the difference. Once I got men that was genuinely pouring into me because they just, you were
Saw
mine.
something in
Like,
you.
I just love you for who you are, and pouring into me, then it's like, oh. And then I would look at different things about each one of them, and then try to, how to do that in my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not married, but I would see how they treat their wives.
And that's how I'm gonna treat a woman. Yeah.
Yep, you know what I'm saying? How they were with different things, far as the career, doing a career. Where some of them had the, maybe went finished school and got a career for whatever degree they pursued. Rather, some of them, if it was just, hey, I started this factory job at
Fix the mic.
18, but I just worked my way. Work my way up promoting and,
Right.
just doing things,
Differently.
starting side hustles, becoming businesses, like everything that it's like, wow. And I always thought, what if that was poured into me when I was younger? You know what I
Right.
mean?
What about you, Daph? Like, if when you look at role models,
Uncle Sean.
Yeah. No, not always, because Uncle Sean used to get in some trouble. with
No,
it.
he didn't.
You
He
know
is a
what I mean?
saint. We went to church together.
I didn't always look up to I looked up to my dad as a role model and my mom, but not in the perspective of like, the whole broad spectrum. You know what I mean? I appreciated the way that they moved in society and how they moved in life. However, I have an aunt who's my dad's sister, my Uncle Sean's sister also. And she also went to Alabama A&M.
Okay, shout out.
She was a Delta.
Shout out.
Y'all the
Don't they do like
Aggies?
this? Don't Deltas do this?
Yeah.
They throw up the dynasty
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah.
And she had a career and she, went ahead with that. So that's a lot of my motivation also came from her because I was like, this is this and the way our family structure was, it was like, you do this and you should do this and you progress into this.
I think, like, for me, what's crazy is that you said your mom. Like, my mom wasn't my role model, but I always envy her strength. Like, I always envy, like, her strength. Like, I always
Yeah.
wanted that type of strength that she had, or that type of, what is it called? Pizzazz or whatever. Like, I always envy that. So it was inside of me, and that's what I took from. I took that from my mom, and boom, and just took it and just ran with it. But I think when you think about role models, it depends on which stage of your life you're in, right?
Bingo. Yeah.
Because you may have been a good role model for me when I was a teenager, but you probably have taken me, like we talked about in the church hurt, that you've taken me as far as you can,
Yeah.
or that far as you are able or capable to take me. But my growth have superseded your ability to pour into me to make me succeed. So I've had different mentors at different times, and I still have mentors that I had way back that when I feel myself failing in one of those areas, I can go back to that mentor who may have been my mentor when I was 15, 16. But I know whatever they taught me at that point, I'm lacking in right now. So now I need to go back
Get
and
refueled.
look at that role model and refuel and look at them and see how they're still moving and being able to proceed.
Let's pause parenthetically right there, and I'm glad you switched terminology. If you hadn't noticed, we were saying role model, and you switched to mentor.
Yeah.
So I had already pulled up the definition for mentor.
Of course, Mondo.
And it says mentor, an experienced or trusted advisor, right? So at the same time, I had already been looking up mentor versus role model. And it says a role model is an individual whose example is looked up to and what's the word?
Imitated.
Imitated?
Thank you. God.
Well, I don't know what
I
you're
knew-
reading.
I know-
Hold on.
pronounce it by now. I can
Hold on,
pronounce
though.
it by
But out
now.
of all of us, you're still in school. We expect you to know these type of things.
Yeah. I thought you were just going to pick it up and call me stupid or something. That's what I was
No, I
looking
would
for.
never call anybody stupid
by others.
personally, right
And it
to their
says
face.
mentors are trusted individuals with more experience than the other person who personally in a one-on-one situation helps guide the person. So mentor versus role model, right?
Mentors are more like advisees.
Yeah. So because a mentor is somebody that I believe you can reach out and touch. Like a mentor is somebody you have a personal relationship with
And
sometimes.
I don't
Right?
think you have to.
But I think I'm talking about me, Mondo.
Okay.
Braylock, okay? No one
Humble
asked you.
opinion.
No.
Okay. Jerk.
But I think, like, for me, a lot of my mentors are people who I can reach out and touch. I can talk to, those type of things. Yes, you can have mentors that you don't, and you can just,
But now I'm thinking though, and I'm starting to agree with you. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the mentor are the people I can physically touch. And the role models
are people that you can't. Because
Yep.
some people want to model their life after TD Jakes, right? Never met him. But because of the walk that he has, they're like, man, that seems amazing. I want to do that, right? But then you have people who, and let's bring in Floyd, right?
Yep.
Because he's from here. You bring in Floyd and the fight that happened this weekend, right?
Yep.
Floyd was first a role model
For Tank.
for
Yep.
Tank. Then he became a mentor.
Because now he
He
physically.
can physically be there.
Yep.
And sometimes a role model we don't have communication with.
Yep. We
Right?
can see.
We-
I admire to be like you.
I admire to be like you. But now Tank has the ability to be mentored by Floyd, right? Someone who, as the definition says, who has more experience than him, right? So now he's in the gym. He's telling him what to do.
Yeah.
At first, when he was a role model, all he could do was watch Floyd. It was a one-way.
Emulating.
That was it. It was a one-way
Imitate.
thing. Good word, Mondo.
I'm surprised you got emulate out.
But
No, I know
Wow.
words. I just struggled once. I
So-
told you I graduated from Kalamazoo Public High School.
That ain't got nothing to do
they
with
closed
anything.
that down. They
No,
all
they
go to
didn't.
Battle Creek now.
That's the same as
What?
like right now. People don't know how to take their phones, and then if you go to dictionary.com, Webster.com,
It got the
wherever-
speaker on it.
Yeah, and it teaches you how to pronounce.
Why
the
didn't
word.
one-
Hold on, are you mentoring him or role modeling for him right
I'm
now?
mentoring him.
Okay.
I need it. I do need it. So who's a role model to you?
Besides
Not a
me.
mentor. Not a mentor, but a role model. A person you look up to from a distance.
Do you want me to be honest?
Yeah. Don't say nobody.
SHI.
I am about to say nobody. I look to people because people have different types of things that they do, and they do different goals, and they do different things in different types of way, and people move all different types of ways. But the way other people move is not the
She
way
needs
that I
nobody.
need to move.
Asks for nobody.
What about Ronnie
Wants
from
nobody.
Players Club?
What about her?
You use her quote
Use
all
her
the time.
quote every show.
I do use her quote, but that doesn't mean that she's mine.
You don't inspire to do it, not the scripting part, but you don't inspire to get what you got to get what you want.
need.
I do.
There-
We got your role model.
Right
Bam.
there.
That's
Front your
not
role
my
model.
no.
Right there.
Why?
You
Because she
know-
light skinned?
No,
Now you're
no,
colorism.
I'm not doing colorism. I'm not doing any type of coding. I'm not doing any type of gender roles. Any of the past episodes.
She done named every
What I'm
episode that we
saying
done done.
is,
This is not church
I
hurt.
take into consideration myself, and I take the plots and the plans and what I feel like I'm going to do myself, and I take my own journey. Nobody else is going to be able to fix my journey for me.
So hold on.
People can help me and guide me along my journey, but I'm still going to have to take my journey by myself.
Okay, I'm glad that you reworded that and said that people can help guide. Because at first you said nobody can do a journey, but everybody's journey is work, right? And on that way to do that work, you need to have the proper tools to do that work. So if people are not adding to your toolbox in some form or fashion, so that when you come up against these things, you have the right tools to do it. Like, I always believe people say, I did it by myself. You didn't. There's a whole heap of people.
No one does it by
No,
themselves.
I don't think people necessarily do it by themselves, but I think you take, like you
Some
could
people
take
do
a
it by
little-
themselves.
I was just about to say, I one day I did. Go ahead.
One day, but you're here now. So
I didn't-
some
The
people,
little birdie has flew
Some-
over the
Today I
head.
didn't.
some
Today I
people
didn't.
you take from here, and you're like, I learned from here, and you take from here,
Right.
and you learn from there, and you move forward. You don't necessarily stay in that position
don't.
and always have a mentor or always have a role model or whatever. Sometimes you take from the pot and you keep it moving. It's just like trick or treating. You go and you pick up everything.
But that's kind of
You
like,
get all the
that-
candy, but
that's
it's from
kinda
different
like
people.
That's kind of like my man said, though. He was just like, at 15, boom. But now, at whatever age he is now, if I'm near that, then I go pull back and reach back. So it might not be a person holding your hand the whole journey, but during the trip, I can
You
make
can reach
this
out
phone
and touch
call. Yeah,
somebody.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
AT&T, yeah.
But think about it. If
Put your
you
quarter in the machine. And
but
keep
think
it
about it
moving.
right
Do them
now.
still-
If
are them
you
still around?
if you miraculously, one of
I
you
don't
guys
know. You
forgot
are.
how to add and subtract, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you once had a math teacher.
I suck at math.
I know you do. There was a math teacher that
And
was
words.
a math
And
teacher.
picking friends.
Good thing you don't get to pick your family. Well, you actually did, and you picked us. That says a lot about you. But you'll go back.
I'm sorry. 19 Keys said today's the difference between relatives and family.
Which one are we?
Your family. Because relatives are by blood. Family is by bond. And that's why people can be closer to
Right.
their
Family
family
than
they
their
are
relatives.
to their relatives. I'm sorry.
But
okay.
so you wouldn't go to your college professor to try to get your, add and subtraction.
Right.
You would go back to the teacher who taught you if they were available and able and willing to do
Should
it,
be
right?
your mama and your daddy.
So,
That's
but I'm
the
just saying.
story.
I
think
mean,
about
unless
it.
your college professor is a mathematician.
But sometimes, perfect example. Sometimes you'll get a mentor that will mentor you to where they think you are, instead of mentoring you to where you actually are, because they're mentoring you towards your potential.
Yep.
Right. So when they're
And not
mentoring
to your capacity.
you, or they're being a role model, whatever you want to call them, and when they speak to you, sometimes they speak to you as if you are what they want you to be already, and not what you actually are. So then it's a clash, and a lot of times you feel this is just personal.
Wait. So your mentor speaks to you as what?
Sometimes your mentor will speak to you as if you're in the environment of which the greatness that they see in you.
Like you're in that space
already in there.
already. The space that they
So
see. you
basically,
in.
they're trying to manifest that into you.
Yeah, but sometimes the standards and expectations that they have of a person who's at the peak of where they think you should be is not where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So even though you're working towards that, yes, I'm working towards it, but I'm not there.
It's like
so the
giving a
expectations
baby,
you have
It's like
for
giving
me,
a baby steak,
So-
and all I can do is milk.
So I have a
right?
question. Do you?
And I'll be able to eat steak one day,
Right.
but don't tell me
I'm
now
not-
I got to eat steak.
right, because you have no teeth.
Sometimes
but-
no teeth is good.
I got buck teeth. So
Yeah, I mean,
figure it
I'm
out.
sure you all probably know. However, when you all speak to mentors and you look for mentors and you go out and you have dialogue with these mentors, do you already know what your purpose is, or are you looking to these mentors to help you find what your purpose is?
I don't look for them to give me a purpose. I look for them.
No. I'm not saying do you look for them to give you a purpose.
Do you always know what I need from them?
Do you know what your purpose is when you go to them?
Yeah.
Or
I do.
Okay, so that day we went and met with my cousin, right? Mm-hmm. So that day he mentored us.
right.
We knew we had the questions for him because
He was already there.
right, and we figured even questions that had other, it sparked other questions. So I think in that case, like as on the mentor, as we being mentees in that moment, and knowing that we can always go back to him,
Right.
like we knew what we knew what we wanted.
So a mentor is basically a person you can just kind of shoot dialogue
Because
with.
it's an advisor, yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes it's called spitballing.
Yeah.
Like sometimes my mind, and y'all know how I am, I'll get an idea and I'm like, boom.
And it's like, relax.
And
Let's
they-
think about this. Let's talk this over first.
And
Yeah, but
these
he's
two are
probably
like,
already in
no,
the
Will,
parking
you're
lot.
not
Yep.
doing that. That's not what's happening. But sometimes to have that, like, it doesn't matter who the person is. Like, you guys mentor me in some of the things that I do, and y'all know how crazy I can get with my ideas. And it's like, let me run, like today, let me shoot them this text and run it by them because I'm
Yep.
thinking irrational. And maybe they will be able to make me understand something different and show me how to get to where I want to get differently. So when you say, do you go to a mentor and know what you want? Yes, because I pick my mentors based on my weaknesses. Like I pick my mentors based on my weaknesses, right? I don't need a mentor for my strengths, right? So if there's something that I'm struggling with, I'm going to pick out somebody who I feel is strong in that area, or somebody I've seen be strong in that area. Then I'm going to try to sit down with them, tell them my craziness so they can tell me how crazy I am, but then also they should be able to give me a better path to take.
Yeah.
So sometimes mentors do a disservice to people because all they do is tell you what you're doing wrong and think they're mentoring you. The only time they want to talk to you is when you're doing something wrong. So
Because it's a correction.
you're right,
Yeah.
but you can't have the correction without the praise.
But sometimes mentors that you go to and you look at that person as a mentor for yourself, you know, you're just going to them for advice. Not that they're going to always have the best advice for you,
Right.
which you already said earlier.
yeah.
But my question is to you all, my second question is, do you already know what your purpose is?
I do.
In certain dynamics, yes. And
Just in general, do you know what your purpose is? And
Servitude.
yeah.
My purpose is servitude. Like I know it.
Yeah.
And I think that a person knows their purpose when they doing something and their whole everything is in line and is at peace, like spiritually, mentally, physically. When I'm doing servitude work, everything is in line.
You don't feel drained.
I don't feel drained. I don't feel tired.
Yep,
I don't feel like nobody's overworking
I'll
me.
do this for nothing.
Man, and it's like, let's do more of it.
right.
Right? So I think some of my mentors are like that. And so I seek them out not only because I want them to show me and teach me, but I want them to pour into me the ability to keep going when you are tired, when you are
Well,
drained.
is servitude a purpose or is it a gift?
Google it.
Yeah, you're the Google man. But I think it's both. I think that servitude is both. I think that some people
I guess
don't.
you would have to have the gift.
But some
too.
people don't know how to serve, right?
Facts.
So
Right.
you may serve in a manner that's disrespectful to the person receiving the service. But just because you're providing a service don't mean that you're doing it right. So you think, I'll break it like this. If I do coat drives, right? Hats, clothes, gloves, all of that, right? That's me serving the community, right? But what if the way that I did it was blasting the people who didn't have the stuff in the first place? Or making them feel belittled? Or making them seem second rate? So that means that my servitude ain't in line because I should be doing it. And when you give somebody something that they don't have, it should make them feel good and it should make you feel good. It should make them feel less than and it should make you feel more powerful than the person who you providing the service to.
Right.
Mr. Google?
Well, I'm going to read this definition because the other one I didn't like. It says a condition in which one lacks liberty, especially to determine one's course of action or way of life.
What?
Yeah. Now the other one says the state of being a slave or completely subject to someone more powerful.
Servitude?
That's servitude.
That's what I was looking up, right? Servitude, right? Yeah. Because
The
with
state
me,
of being a slave or completely subject to someone more powerful.
yeah. Because me, I can be
But it says-
servitude to
hold on.
someone
It said two things. I'm sorry. Read it again.
The state of being a slave or completely subject to someone more powerful.
So when you look at it, the or in between means it could be either or, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the one is being a slave, right? Which slavery is usually involuntary,
yeah,
right?
It's a cuss.
But
It's become a cuss word.
right,
Yeah.
but it's involuntary. But then the second one says, say it again, Daph.
Okay, let's read this one first.
No,
It
no,
says,
go back, 'cause
The
my-
state of being a slave or completely subject to someone more powerful.
Okay, so hold on. The second part where it says completely subject to something more powerful. So if you, I don't know
So
what
that's
your
like to the
religion
will-
is,
it'd be
but
like
if
to
you
the
look
will-
at
will of God,
the
something more
will of God,
powerful.
like God says, take care of these people, and you're subjecting yourself to servitude, saying that I'm going to serve the people in the manner in which the person who I think is the
Serve.
higher being
Right.
says to do it. So that's what I think of servitude for me.
But then it also says, Miriam says, a condition in which one lacks liberty, especially to determine one's course of action or way of life, to a right by which someone, such as a piece of land owned by some
I didn't want to.
person.
Yeah, I really don't do
is
Marion
subject to-
real good. That's
You know
not.
what?
But
Now I don't like the word servitude any longer.
But
Yeah.
okay, think of this. When you look at a mentor, I always say mentor must have selflessness, right?
Right.
And that's just concern more with the needs and wishes of others than with one's own. And not saying just throw away everything about yourself, but saying that I'm okay. How can I make you okay, right?
Who's the responsibility on the mentor or the mentee? Is it the mentor to look for the mentee, or is it the mentee to look for a mentor?
I think that it's on the mentor because sometimes a mentee don't know what they want, right?
No. I'm not saying what they want. Who is it to go and look for?
No, I'm trying
So
to
if I'm a
explain to you.
mentor, okay, go ahead.
If I'm a person who believes that I have something for young people, then I want to put myself in a position to offer what I have to young people. I'm not going to wait for young people to come to me and look for a mentor. If that's good, if they do that, that's great. But I think it's more the earnest is on me to say, hey, here's my skill set. Here's what I have to offer.
Wouldn't
Here's
that be
where I'm
more
going to
role
offer
modelish,
this
though?
at. Huh?
Because you're setting the
Say it again.
example. Would that be more role model? Because you're setting like an example or a template, right?
No, what I'm saying is that I don't have to. You don't have to know what I'm doing as a role model, because role model is somebody you see doing boom boom.
And
I'm
that's,
saying
that's what I'm saying.
no.
by
What I'm
you
saying is
just
for
said.
me is this: on Friday night, any kid who want to come in and learn structure, learn this. That's not me being a role model. That's me saying, come in
So
and I'm going to pour.
So then that goes to what I'm saying. So the mentee is going to the mentor.
But they only come in because I offered it.
Okay.
I think
So
that
you set the template as a role model.
not a role model.
No, listen, hear me out. So you set the template as a role model because I'm seeing what you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. You made a model of something, right?
Oh, you're talking about for the other? Okay,
Right.
I get it.
Now, as the mentee looking for something, I see you doing, because that's what we do, right?
Right.
As a mentee, because if you're not doing something that I'm not interested in, I'm not going to go. Like I see it, oh, okay, that's
Right.
not for me. But as a mentee, I see you doing something, so then I reach out to you.
Right, but if
That's what I'm saying. Because if you're just let's just say basketball, something simple, right? But if I'm a kid that's
basketball
not
is
in
not simple.
But
Go
if
ahead.
I'm a kid that's not into basketball,
It won't
and
work.
you trying to reach out to me as a mentor, you wasting your time.
Right.
But if I'm a kid and I see you basketball and I go to you, then now we got action.
We got action.
So do you all feel like you're privileged enough already to be mentors to people?
In certain
Areas of my life.
Areas?
I think that for me, there's certain things that I will look for others. If you come to me with a need that I know that I personally can't help you with, I'm not a person who's going to lie to you or pretend that I'm something that I'm not. And I think some people do that because they're afraid to reach out and say, hey, Mondo, I have this kid who went through boom, boom, boom. I know you have. Can you come in and let me introduce you to this
my
kid?
mama always do that.
Because sometimes, you know what it is? You're the bridge and you're not the answer.
Correct.
And people's ego get in the way of being the bridge and not the answer.
Sometimes you just plant this seed, you put the water on it, and then
Tune it, take care of it, and then somebody else come and harvest it. And I do. I think that people get confused with that. You are not always the answer. Sometimes you are the introduction person. Sometimes you are the middle person that somebody has taken this. And I keep saying, people can take people so far, and then your skills and abilities don't allow you to do it again.
It's like parenthood. As a parent, you potty train your kids, right?
Not on live.
And then you
you
don't
teach 'em.
post them on Facebook.
It happens. But like as a parent, right? You teach your kids how to count.
Right.
You teach them the ABCs, their colors, and
Well,
stuff like
you
that.
develop people.
Right. And then it comes to a point where they're 5 now. So what? You got to send them off to school. So now school teach them how to be social, how to do other things, and then
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. So I think it's the same way.
Yeah, them soft skills have to be taught at home.
So do you necessarily feel like you always learn from a mentee, or I mean, not a mentee, but a mentor or a role model, or do you sometimes just learn from people in general in life?
You can
learn from anybody. I've learned like 15 years Department of Labor.
Because, well,
Right?
I'm just saying, like, sometimes some people aren't role models and some people are really bad influences.
They are horrible.
And then you see them and then you're like, okay, this is a bad thing.
I got another word I need to look
And
up.
okay,
I'm listening to y'all.
You
I'm listening to
parking
y'all.
lot that looking up of that word, and you go ahead and say whatever you want to say.
I think that some people are bad influences, but a mentor is a mentor, and we can't stop who mentor our kids, but we have to be able to, like Mondo said, be that first mentor to our kids. I think that a person who feels like they only have to be the teacher will never reach their full potential of knowledge because the mentee also brings something to the table. The mentee brings their experience, personal experience, from a different perspective, right? So then I also believe that kids look for structure. They love structure, but when they don't have it, they rebel against it. So that's why you see a person to meet a mentor, and that mentor will instill some structure, standards, and expectations and get a better result than what the family gets from them because the family's not putting those things into place. And that mentor could be a coach, a pastor, or whatever. But watch this. That mentor also can be a street hustler, right? So that mentor word, we always say not a mentor, a mentor. No, either you're a bad mentor or you're a good mentor, but you're still a mentor. You're still influencing somebody.
Actually, the word mentor comes kind of from a negative sense.
Because a lot of
from
times
the book The Odyssey or whatever, but
the Iliad and the Odyssey.
the
Or the
Homer's Odyssey, way back.
Homer from The
That's
Simpsons?
not
No.
Iliad and Odyssey.
I'm sure y'all gonna look it up.
No, I literally have to find the.
But give the concept.
Where I don't want to say on air. It's kind of ugly.
Nasty.
What do you mean?
Mentor kind of meant it was kind of like a man and a boy.
Like pedophilia?
Yeah, like pederast type stuff. Yeah,
That's more like grooming.
that's where the word. But remember,
Well,
remember how old this literature is
Yeah.
that I'm speaking of is,
Okay.
The Odyssey is by
Homer, right?
yeah. So yeah.
Good job, Mondo.
Yeah. So the word I looked up, two words.
Yeah,
First,
the Iliad and the Odyssey.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
The first is influence, right?
Right.
Have you ever read the Iliad and the Odyssey?
Eon.
The synopsis.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, but I read Iliad and Odyssey. That's why. Yeah.
The capacity to have an effect on the character. Okay. Development or behavior of someone, something, or the effect itself.
There it is.
Okay. Then the next word I want to look at is something that's popular in our culture now, in our social culture,
Clout?
social media culture. No, influencer.
Influencer. Yeah.
So an influencer is a person or thing that influences another. So now, social media, all these people have come to, they might even say that we are, right? Because anybody that's on social media got a little bit of a following, whatever.
Well, don't follow me
Influencers.
because they said that I'm from what movie?
Players Club.
yeah.
But now
Some money gonna made
now,
around here.
A
Some money
lot
gonna
of
made around here.
people get a
Well,
blue check, get
yeah.
a blue check for being influencers
Right.
for showing their body.
Yeah,
You
a
know
lot
what
of
I mean?
people do.
Isn't that called
because
what's it called?
being an influencer?
No, but some of it is called, what is it called? Members only
Verified?
or friends only or?
That's it.
Verified. You get
No, he
verified.
talking about a fans only page.
Oh, fans
That's
only
something
is different.
That's how we get money.
Yeah,
That's
that's
you
how
get
I
money.
buy Polo.
Okay, dollar bill.
I like that in you.
But
40
anyway,
ball to subscribe.
If
But-
there's any reason why she shouldn't do it.
Influencers
make money.
Yeah.
They do make money, and I think a lot of them take into consideration the making money and not that they're influencer to people of society, because a lot of younger people in society are looking up to these people when in actuality, if they even get to that point of what these influencers are, they're not going to be able to achieve a whole lot because these influencers are not doing anything else besides influences
Man.
a part of society.
And that was my point. And that because I said characteristics, your behavior, and it's like to me, and this is in my humble opinion, and it's. Cause I don't like to talk bad about people. Like, I like to
No,
signify.
go ahead.
I
Talk
like to
bad.
signify on people. But it's like I don't see y'all doing anything positive, right? You shaking your behind and your
Right.
and your and
Shake your money, make
that money maker, and then you get titled influencer. So now that word, as we read, influence has a lot of power to it.
Oh yeah.
So then
That's like a super PAC or,
Right.
or it's
But-
like
so
or it's like a
people
legend.
see it and they want to be
Yeah.
like that, and they feel like if you're verified on Facebook or
Then
Twitter
you must
or
be real.
whatever, then yeah, everything must be you're legit. But then at the same time, it's like irrelevant because they're not doing
Now,
anything.
granted, sometimes I enjoy looking at
I'm sure you.
the
do.
influence.
I looked kind
Absolutely.
of twice, but
Yep.
think about this:
Might
is
even
that
share with friends, but I
Yeah.
do not want my daughters
no?
to look up to this as role models or mentors.
But that's the thing. Like, if you feel like you're gonna do it and you feel like you don't want your child to have that same experience, why do you feel like you should do it and you feel like you're an influencer or a motivator to your child?
Well, if you
I'm
want,
saying I don't want my daughter looking at.
I know.
Yeah.
But you will.
No, I'll glance and be
but
like,
he's not gonna look at it
I'm
with
like,
her.
Hey, put those things
You
away.
don't. It's not about
And
looking at her.
I'll
It's
DM
not
them.
about looking at it with her. It's even the mentality of saying, okay, this is what I
Well,
want.
I always
like looking
DM
at
them and say, God got a calling on your life.
Okay, you're lying.
I'll
But go
DM
ahead.
them and say, girl, put those away.
No, you don't.
Yeah, because I want to pop. I want to like
You
that.
want to pop.
I saw you,
I
bro.
want to bite my bottom lip and say,
Okay.
You did.
stop it.
Sometimes you
done.
gotta bite the bottom lip. But no,
No. But
listen.
you get what I'm saying.
I
Like,
understand what Daph's saying. You
I don't
saying
want
if-
my
if
daughter
we
on
don't-
the pole.
No,
I don't want my daughter on the
job
pole.
is to keep her off the pole.
Pole, right? That's what Chris Rock said.
Right.
Your only
But
job
you-
as a
but
father
you
is to
will
keep
go
her off
to
the pole. And you see, I didn't give him no money.
But you know what that means?
I
Let me
had
tell you
lamb
this.
chops.
I know you
Hold on.
waited to try to give your money away
No,
later.
no. Do you know
At a
why?
cheaper experience.
Listen, do you know why
No, I don't.
there
know
are
why.
women on the pole?
Because they ain't have a dope
Do,
father.
do you know?
Every
no,
kid
that is-
deserves a dope father.
That is not true. Women
They
make,
don't deserve a dope father?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not why women are on the polls. Some women go and they're on the polls and they make decent money
No,
on the polls.
they make more than
Some
decent
women-
money.
Well,
They
more
make
than
more than
decent
decent
money,
money.
Some women
I'm
are
jealous.
making more than $400,000
But
a year.
that's
believe
because
it.
that's because
I believe it.
Just because you have big calves and you know how to get all the way up the pole and you can slide back down, you cannot.
Well, you gotta get a
cannot
mentor.
Condemn these women for the job.
But you
got
gotta
to
get a
do.
mentor.
Oh, no, I'm not
who can teach
condemning
you how to
them.
do that.
You don't have to
I
do it.
enjoy it.
You don't
I
have
enjoy
to
it.
get a mentor. You
I
can go to
enjoy
a
it.
pole dancing class.
But
Not
my
doing
my
it.
thing
but the
is-
thing of it is the same way
I
that
enjoy
they-
watching it
the
on
same way.
Instagram.
Okay, so we
the
all
same way
finna
that
talk
they're-
at the same time?
Yes, we
No,
all will.
It's on you, Queen.
No, it's okay.
It's on
No,
Queen
go
Cole.
ahead.
No, come
I
on,
was
Queen
asking- No, y'all go ahead.
You're right. No,
Y'all
you're
do
right
what
because
y'all-
you're right. But that's
Yeah.
what you need to do, Daphne. You need to be.
We're not
the
gonna keep
influence.
telling you this.
You need to be the influence that women need to see and learn how to put men in their place.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
I'm not trying to put any
First
men
of
in
all,
their place.
you put the light
First-
skinned men in their place.
Okay, so you should stop talking.
Okay.
But I'm not trying to put anybody in their place. I'm just asking in perspective of things because everybody looks at perspectives differently.
Right.
So can I
You know
answer
what
your
I'm
question?
saying? Go ahead, do whatever you want to
I
do.
like how you told him you put the hand up. and
First of
stop.
all,
Do it.
FDK. Okay, want to put that out there.
Okay.
Second of all,
I don't know what that
those
means.
women.
No, yeah, if you're gonna use algorithms, not algorithms.
Wow.
but,
Whoa.
Oh, but we're going to talk about Ramon, though. We're going to talk about old Mon, though.
Too much sauce.
We need a good algorithm. So, matter of fact, y'all share this
Like
episode
and
so we
subscribe.
get the algorithms going.
But no,
Yes.
what I'm saying
I
is that
used the wrong word, but
even
yeah.
even those women who decide to be on the pole,
And I commend you
right?
all.
Even
If you
those
look
women,
nice.
there was somebody along the way that they looked at and said, "Hey, that too I can do or want to
Their
do."
friend said, hey, you have a nice body. You know how to shake that money maker.
No, some people go get their bodies fixed to even go do it.
Because they see them influencers.
They see the
If you
influencers,
look
so-
at the tip drill video, one of the
Whoa,
greatest
whoa,
works
whoa,
of
whoa!
art.
Don't you disrespect that video, bro?
No, I say it's one of the greatest works of art ever,
Oh.
right? And you see the women in tip drill video.
Were they fixed?
no.
I don't think so.
Back
I think
then
they
there was
were
no
all
Were
fixer.
not.
They was natural.
They were natural.
Right.
Now, you
Everybody's
look at
fake.
the women, and it's like y'all take all the fun out of it because y'all got the cheat code.
It's not the cheat code. You get some
Yeah, it's
cornbread,
like
you
playing
get some
Mario
bread.
Brothers.
When
you
you
put
go
the cheat
to the
code
doctor,
in.
that's the cheat code. Now, I'm not knocking nobody for what they do. If you got the money to go to the doctor and you want to change yourself, fine. But that's the cheat code, though. to the
But
sisters.
okay, so now we go circle back when we talk about
I don't believe in cheat
mentors.
codes. I just say collard greens, cornbread.
When we go
yams.
back and say
Man, that sounds good.
mentors,
Y'all
No
know I'm
meat.
hungry. Y'all know I'm
mentors
hungry.
versus influencers, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of social media influences people on what to do, right? Like you think about it. When something big happens in the world, they don't get the average Joe to come on TV and say something about it.
Well,
they
actually-
always get somebody who's an influencer, whether they want to or not, social media, entertainment, sports,
Right.
movies, whatever it is. When those people speak, people move because people look at them as role models.
Yep.
And they look at them as a potential of what I could be and where I can be. So if Jay-Z gives $50,000 to a cause and I give $10, I feel like I'm a part of what Jay-Z did.
That's true,
Yeah.
but
Right?
That's fact.
So it's just like Jay-Z said, give to this, let me give to this, right? But then Mondo can be like, I want to start this nonprofit or this thing in my community and do it. But because Mondo is not, quote unquote, an influencer like Jay-Z, the same people who gave 50 to 100 to $500 to Jay-Z for something that happened in a neighborhood or a state or a city that's not theirs,
Right. It doesn't
they will
directly
give it out
impact
to
you.
there first and then question why Mondo want them to give something in their own
But
city.
that's also like a part of the behavioral theory and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
if actions and stuff happen at a time and
Now, I
people
would
follow.
say Jay would be more of a role model than an influencer.
Well, he was an influencer
but I think
that
he's
turned into a role model.
I think that he's a role model for some, but I think that
I think because at a plateau, I think once you I think an influencer, and this is my opinion, influencer like this level,
Right.
and then role model is
yeah.
like at this.
But
level.
you know what? I'm gonna take that back because I think that a lot of people looked at what Jay did and how he did it, and they were in a situation when they saw I'm talking about people who were in what Jay was in back then, and Jay was already gone. They looked at what he did and was like, man, let me take this same thing that I'm doing that Jay-Z did and try to make it work that way. So he became that role model.
Why don't you call him Hove?
Huh?
Why don't you call him Hove?
H to the Izzo. Shout out to Kanye West.
So, yeah. Goodbye. So, I don't even know what I was going to ask. Forget the question.
Kanye got 10 votes. Listen,
He did. Everybody wrote him in today.
but the thing of
About
it
to say
is,
he wasn't on the ballot.
they wrote him in.
But a lot of people were. Yesterday, did y'all see 2 Chainz for Biden?
Where was he at?
He was
Oh.
singing for Biden yesterday.
Yeah.
He was singing?
Yeah.
But look, so
thought he
that
was a
goes
rapper.
back to I
I'm
guess
different.
so.
He was singing I'm different.
yeah.
Eminem endorsed him.
So I guess it
Lady
does
Gaga
influence.
endorsed him.
Yeah.
Once again.
Yeah.
Once again,
mean, the
they
election
use
will
those
be
people.
over once you see this.
But
However,
no matter who won, right? Shout out to Biden. No matter who won, what I'm saying is that they both used influencers and role models.
well, Trump used Lil Pump
Wayne.
last night.
He
no,
last
last night here in Grand Rapids.
I don't know who.
But
I don't know who that dude was. I've seen it, but I don't know who the guy is.
Nobody knows who he is.
But he used
But
no. I tell
bet
you
he
why
has
he
a
used
fan
them.
base.
No, he used them
Where?
because the
Not
new
us.
voters. Listen, all the voters
The
that
18
couldn't.
Generation
No,
of
listen,
Z?
No,
18-year-olds.
You gotta
Yes,
listen.
Gen Z.
All the
yeah.
I don't know the acronyms, but listen, all the
Acronyms.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
know
word
that's
I
what
was.
you're
it was. I want to
earlier.
throw it back out there to make you to just give it to you. But what
Oh,
I'm
you was
saying
trying
is
to
that
make me
all
feel
the
bad about it.
voters
Okay.
who couldn't vote last year are little Pump fans.
Right.
So he's trying to capture the little Pump fans, right? That again goes to role models,
But-
people who people
But
look
he
up.
had
Lil
Lil
Pump
Wayne to
did-
try to get us.
But nobody
Like
listens.
our
Nobody listens to
generation.
Lil Wayne since forever.
Mr. Officer. or
I-
this-
Yeah,
I ain't gonna. But see, the thing is with Wayne, he's in a different tax bracket.
He
than
is.
us. So his influence could come from somewhere
Somewhere else.
else. Because it could be another rich person saying, "Hey, well, if you have any financial troubles, you vote for this guy." Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
but I bet his mentor want Pookie from the block.
No,
it's
it's some
probably
old rich person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. So let me ask you guys this.
I got a question too.
Okay,
Is
Can
that
I
in
go
the same
first?
realm?
Okay,
Is that in the
everybody,
same
we're
realm?
all going to talk at the same time again.
We are.
Okay,
Ready?
go ahead.
Hold on three, everybody say
Matt,
something.
get this as a full shot so that everybody can ask their question at the same time.
Ready? 1, 2,
Ladies
3.
first.
Who killed Jimmy Hoffa? Oh, I thought we were going to do it. Go ahead, Daff. It's on you. Ask your question.
No, you go ahead.
Skip it. I don't like awkward silence. So I'm going to say this. Who has been the biggest influence in your life and who has been the biggest mentor in your life?
See, that's why I want to ask my question first. 'Cause
Your question stinks.
No, because my question was still in the realm of what we were talking about. Now
I
your
plead
question
the
is about
fifth.
something.
I decline to answer.
Yeah. So
Ask your question, Mondo, because Daff's been difficult.
no, I was gonna say. I guess it's more of a comment anyway. It's my humble opinion. So I was gonna say it's funny how they only use all these rappers and celebrities and R&B singers to pander to influence the blacks.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't see
But
them doing it to
but-
the non-blacks.
Not to like completely change the subject, but
Well,
today
he already did.
He did.
Oh, and when I did, I
absolutely.
got scorned.
Yeah.
So
She's so
today,
impatient. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
with everything that's going on, like I said, by the time everybody watches this, it'll be over.
Shout out to the bull.
But okay, so do you think that there are a lot of people who are either influencers or motivational
Motivational.
motivational people in our community, or like
Let me get my arsenal heart. Those people over there.
stop
In the dog
no,
pound.
because, like the post earlier,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and it was a conversation about whatever. Do you feel like that person is like a mentoree or a mentor of somebody, or if they're like an influencer to
You
the
talking about the
community?
gentleman we were speaking of earlier?
No.
No.
No. But I think that sometimes what happens is that people seek out lost people, and people seek out lost people who
So-
don't have as much information as they have, and they may not have enough information either, but they have just a little bit more than that person. And so when they give it to that person, it makes sense, it seems logical, and then that person begins to follow them, and then they lead them down the wrong path. I think that once that is done, and that person sees that they have this, because I think they know what they're doing. Like they know what they're
People are
doing.
stirring the pot. People stir
So
the
they're
pot.
looking for,
And
That's what I like to do.
but they're looking for the lost people. Think about it. Who's
pots for people with no teeth. Absolutely.
yeah? But they're looking. What kind of food
It's
is
like
that?
to poke the bear.
Man,
and then
but they're
leave out
looking
the
for
room.
lost people. Like
Some
if
people
you
do
find
that.
lost people and give them hope, or you cater to them, or you cater to their deficiencies, right? Then sometimes they don't care what you say and how you do it. They're gonna follow you and stand behind you, and they're gonna put like or put a heart or put a I care or and all those other things that we can do on social media,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes people feel good. I think let me finish with this.
Oh,
I think this. Yeah, move your mic.
well, we're done.
No,
No,
but
go ahead. How much time do we have, Mike? Matt?
Mike,
Mike. No.
Magic Mike.
Mike.
But no, I think that what happens is that people when they don't get the response that they want on their social media posts, right? Because they think they're influencer, they think they're a mentor.
Then they come to this particular group and try to post in there.
They come to this group. But I think that for me, if you're speaking real and you're speaking from the heart and you're going to stand on whatever you say, then you post what you post and then you don't delete it because after an hour or 2 hours, nobody has liked it or responded to it. Because I don't care about being liked, right? But I also understand that the truth is the truth. And if you're going to be an influencer or a mentor or somebody people look up to, you must give them the truth when the world says the truth is not enough.
Well, with that being said,
It's been said
after you said whatever you said,
a lot.
okay, you do.
Whatever conversation you guys are talking about, I must have missed this on Facebook.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll explain later.
I work.
What does that mean?
I was at work today, so I missed it.
well.
The script clubs keep
I
opening
work,
earlier and
but-
I was
earlier.
at work. I said today.
Okay.
Today, so I missed it today.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I work sometimes. But the thing about it is, after that happened, it was like an explanation of why I posted this post. But if you posted a post in the beginning, just post a post. You know what I mean? Why do you have to explain why you post your post? You know what I mean?
And when facts are given,
See, a lot of times when I do stuff too, I'll pose a question, whatever. Sometimes I've already researched the answer. I do it.
you already know where you stand.
Yeah.
But people have this in their hand all the time
And won't use it.
and people will not go and search and do whatever they need to do
Just
to
a
find
quick-
the answer. All you got to do is type in a couple
Just-
words.
just
You
take
know
a
what?
whirl.
You
Just
can
take a
even-
whirl
you
on
can
Google.
even talk to this
Talk to
thing
it.
now.
Hey Google, what does this mean? Hey Siri,
This
what
mic
does
stand
mean?
is horrible. But go ahead.
Gotta take a whirl sometime. No, so to answer your question, mentors and role models. I'm gonna just encompass a few.
So let's do this because I want to stop you, but I don't want you to lead nobody on people feel. You know how people feel some
No,
type
that's
of way.
why I was just gonna just.
So tell me what's the best type of mentor for you and what's the best type of role model. That way people won't feel
I
left
don't
out.
know because at different times it's gonna be different.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
It's
In
gonna
this-
be somebody that I can learn from, and that's why I said I just can't say. So right now, it's all about learning.
I feel like it'll always be somebody you can learn from.
Right.
Right.
It doesn't
So-
matter
Right.
what degree or
Yeah.
what part
So
of
that's
your
why I
life
said,
you're in.
I just rather throw out some names if somebody get left out. Oh well, charge it to my heart, not my mind.
They gonna jump you.
Okay. So Pastor Dramone, Darius, Ken, Kenny G, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan, Malcolm X, Tariq Nasheed, Lord Jamar. Not you, William. You know, a bunch of people. But I think
I'm done
everything is for a
mentoring him.
purpose. So like even like say with Minister Farrakhan, right? I'm no Muslim, or I don't practice Islam. Have I studied it? Do I know about it? Yes. But
He's a
I
role model
follow
for you.
him for things to do with my people and my culture, not for religion based, right? You know what I'm saying? For Dramone, I follow him more. It would be more, for that. So that's why I said the dynamics
It
is
just
different.
changes. Death.
I try to follow my heart in the universe.
Wow.
That's good. I'm proud of you.
Well, you have to take your own journey. You know what I'm saying? And if you can find things from different types of perspectives within your life and different types
So
of.
what authors do you like? Who do you like to read? What
You
authors
asked
do you
this
like?
already, brother.
We did talk
Yeah.
about this kind of
So what authors do you like?
all of them.
She said the same thing the last time.
I did.
I can't. I wish I can cuss on here.
It's
'Cause
okay. No, I
hate her.
really
I
like.
hate her. I love her, but I hate her.
I prefer documentaries.
Did that word start with an F?
I prefer I prefer to read documentaries.
You
and
prefer to
stuff.
read documentaries?
Well, no, I prefer. Shut
Oh,
up.
okay.
Never
No,
mind.
but the reason why I asked
This is the
that,
reverse of Mondo and her. Mondo's becoming her, and she's becoming Mondo.
No,
This episode is amazing.
I'm not using my words
and
like
I
I
know it's
should.
about time for us to go. But the reason why I asked that is because a lot of times our mentors are people who we follow, like because we read, like that's why certain books, certain authors, certain podcasts I follow, certain documentaries I watch.
I don't follow a lot of podcasts.
Well, as long as you follow this one, this is the best one.
That's
on the
it.
planet
That's
right
all
now.
you
So
need.
I
This
don't-
will shape your
Yeah,
life.
I don't usually try to follow this one because I'm already here.
Well, I hope you
So-
get to subscribe. You know
Man,
what?
from her
I'm just
personal
messing
page.
around.
If
I'm
she don't
just
do it, who
messing
else gonna do
around.
it? So, this has been another edition of In My Humble Opinion with me, Will, the dopest father alive.
Sometimes you have to understand that people tell jokes even if they're on social media. Isn't that what your post said earlier?
With
No,
her,
my post said,
here's Mondo.
you trying to date me, just know the stuff I say on social media. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
some- not
Sometimes
in this
people
show.
just say stuff on social media just to be saying stuff.
Oh, they
I
always
wanna-
do it for attention.
Can I say something on this show?
No, you can wrap
Oh.
it up though.
I was trying.
Okay, go ahead. You can wrap it up while we talking. Don't let us stop you.
Man, let me
I do
wrap
like
it
to
up.
Watch documentaries though.
Yeah, me too. Which last documentary you watched?
I'll
Don't let us stop you.
This has
Just
been
wrap
another
it up.
edition of In My Humble Opinion. I'm Will. That's Daft. That's Mondo. They're
about, like, this
disrespectful.
plant
Like, subscribe, and share.
is grown in
We
the
hope that you find yourself a
Amazon
great
and
mentor
jungle
or
whatever, and people
a
take the
great
tree and then they
influencer so that you
boil
can
the
become a better
tree
person
and then
or
they
somebody
drink
that you
it
look
so
up
that they
to.
can get like a
Thank you.
different outlook
Bye.
on the universe and people.
Are we done, Matt?
Oh wow! So it's like it gives you like a out-of-body experience. It sounds like
You guys are
Sound like you get
freaking
high.
rude, okay?
Sound like you get high.
When a man wants to
basically
enter,
But-
people
a
got their
show.
nerves calling people rude.
But you go through three different.
I tried to enter the
That's a
show.
high. That's a high that I don't
No,
want
no,
parts of.
no. You go through three different types of like different
What?
things
Levels,
or whatever.
like-
What, like
levels,
in
like
sex?
First you purge. Okay,
Look
nobody
this way, look this way,
said
look this way.
anything.
What
about
is
that.
purge? Like you're gonna
We
kill
need one of those
people?
you know how at the stores.
I don't know what you've been
You know how they put
doing,
them
but-
glass things that
So-
separate us.
so-
We need a glass
oh,
thing
the
right there.
plexiglass.
Yeah, right
So
there.
first-
Separate
Oh, so now y'all know words.
So first,
All of a sudden, you guys know words. The show's over, and y'all know words.